feel like it's important to not create too much of an illusion inside these little videos. Yeah, there is some really beautiful moments, sunsets and beaches, dinghy boats and surfing. it's it's part of the attraction to the lifestyle and the root of the passion to motivate me to do all these painful things that this has required me to do. Um, my most favorite times in life are somewhere deep in nature, hanging out with happy critters. I love that kind of thing. I can I can feel my love for it right down to my toes. Um, it's really as simple as that. And somewhere along the lines, I figured out that living on boats just put me closer to those kind of moments. You know, but you have to understand everything that I've gone through, to get to the point where I am right now. This has been 10 years of dedicating myself quite literally to nothing less than a 65-hour week. I've knocked on 100 hours. Couple of weeks. A lot of 75 and 80-hour weeks just kind of became the norm. Set a pace for a life where I was able to pay off a shitty little house that I bought, and life was good. Kind of being debt free, bought a nice car, and then I ended up selling a nice car for my first sailboat, my Morgan, and fell in love with a whole different lifestyle that just made me a lot more satisfied. But along that path, I found a much greater purpose, and it had been in the back of my mind for 10 years to take my resources and do something substantial for the good of humanity and maintaining the earth that I love so much. Uh, to do that, I sold that house. I had a little money saved up. I think I left with about 70 grand in my pocket, thinking I could buy a boat for $10,000 and put 30 grand into it, have 40 into it, and have, another pile of dough to start something with. But folks, I got to tell you, that all that immediate investment was twice as much as I thought it was going to be, and that nest egg just vanished. So for the last 3 years, I've been doing my best to balance my life with, maintaining an income of some sort to be able to continue to reinvest. And I'm darn sure I've doubled what I thought was going to be my original investment. It's scary. It's painful. You see these water jugs behind me. I gotta hump those things two at a time into the boat just to be able to brush my teeth and make another pot of coffee. That's life. That's just how it is. On top of that, any extra dough that I have goes directly into making the business better so we can do more. Nobody's paying me for any of that. Nobody's paying me to talk to you. This is just me shelling out dough constantly to try and make some kind of impact with the little bit of life that I have left, to protect something that I deeply love. And I don't want this to seem glamorous. I got scars across my forehead from the work that I've done. I got scars down my face from the work that I've done. This has all been hard. hard work and a lot of discomfort has come across my plate to deal with all of this. And it's just something that I've found is worthwhile. To most people, I don't think the lifestyle I live, would be comfortable enough for them to feel it was worthwhile. But, when we get out into the world and we do those beach cleanups, it's an amazing experience for everybody's soul. And then all you folks get to go back to the beaches that I love and enjoy that beauty. And that is a wonderful and worthwhile experience. But the world needs so much more. And that's why getting Bruce underway to do a large scale, hopefully a global scale microplastic migration study is so important. The chemistry involved with these things is so terrible, and I'm not going to fill your ear full of that bad medicine, but it's true. There's a lot of bad chemicals that are leaching into the environment through the monumental amounts of plastic rubbish that are just being strewn about everywhere. So it's just the way it is. I don't think that in my lifetime we'll be successful in removing it. I hope that the research inevitably that I do in the next 10 to 20 years turns into the tools that the next generation can use to make a real difference. I am going to fight with 110% of who I am to make a real difference in my lifetime, but the problem is so much bigger than I am. And I think that's part of the mission that I'm on, is to help the world understand what I already know to be true. For one reason or another, for me, it's very obvious to see the decline in species in the environment that I've been in the majority of my life. I also want to get out into the world and talk to local people, especially, fishermen and people that take conservation seriously, and ask them about, their declines and or their changes in migratorial habits, and document all of these things. I feel like it's so important to us right now to understand the impact that we have on the environment around us and how fragile it truly is. But we'll get into that as time goes on. In the meantime, I just wanted to drop a little something for you folks and say thank you for supporting me throughout all this. I do appreciate it. It's going to be a lot of learning experience as we get off the ground here. We're going to be laid up for a minute, making major repairs. I shouldn't say repairs, it's not necessarily a true statement, but major infrastructure changes to be able to support a crew of 3 to 4 people on this boat for roughly 10 years. It's a lot to get this thing ready to go. Majority of what I've been doing has been a lot of the wires. Piles and piles of wires. This is a ham radio. It's an emergency setup that my friend David Kitzmiller donated to the project. We're going to figure out how to get this thing can dial into some funny beeps and noises. That's how I can describe listening to it. Kind of sounds like an old school fax machine when it goes off, but they got computer programs that'll turn that into weather maps for us that we can get anywhere in the world. I'd like to have satellite internet on the boat for communications and weather, but if that goes down, this is old school internet. Before Ethernet cables, you had ham radios. So I don't know anything about that, really. It's totally a foreign language to me, but we'll figure it out. And we're kind of in the process of tearing all this out. That's going to turn into a dedicated space to our laboratory equipment and computers and microscopes and all of that, so everything can be strapped into the boat so we can do live science everywhere we go, and I don't have to worry about a $3,000 microscope bouncing off something and being destroyed. Got to have 2 of everything and 3 of major components to be able to consider this a successful attempt in preparation, and we'll be off to the races. So hope to see you guys soon. There's going to be a lot of opportunities to get on and off the boat as we make our way around the world. I want as many people to be able to enjoy being a part of all of this, the science and the sunsets. I really am serious about that. I bought a big boat with 3 bedrooms. Looks like one of my best friends from childhood, Brandon Humphrey, is going to join me on the circumnavigation attempt. I'm really excited about that. But we have a whole another bedroom with a bunk bed that people are going to be in and out on this whole trip. My friend Chris Leifers, who has stepped up to take over the Muskegon chapter of the nonprofit here, is also going to be getting on and off the boat to help me move the boat more effectively, and also help me understand the environment around the boat. The science is important stuff. It's really important stuff, and I need a lot of help with everything we're doing, but mostly I want people to be able to come in and take part of what we're doing too. I may ask you to help me sail the boat from one island to another at some point in time, things of that nature. But other than that, I want people to be able to immerse themselves in this environment too. So, get with me. We have to figure out logistics, passports, flying in and out, things of that nature, but it's all stuff we're totally capable of. So, if you see the boat out moving and you think to yourself, hey, I got some vacation time, I think I'd like to go spend a week with Steve-O on his Nature's Journey adventure, holla at your boy. Y'all know how to find me. Okay, that's it. One drop. Peace out, folks.